Okay, today we are playing a game on Hollywood. We are playing Anna the entire way through, and the average SR of this game was 2,058. So, let's look at our team. Today we have a team composition that I would describe as being very tragic. We've got Anna and Lucio, Roadhog, May, and McCree, and Genji. So, we only have one tank, and it's Roadhog, the least tank of all the tanks. And May is like a quasi-tank. Like, she performs a tank-like function, but she's not really a tank either. So, we have like two supports, two like off-tanks, and then two DPS, basically. We have very little presence, and if they come at us, they're going to basically... If we don't pick off a lot of people very, very quickly, then we're just probably basically going to get rolled over. Especially if they have a Reinhardt. They don't have a Reinhardt, but they have an Orisa and a Roadhog. So, they've got, like, more front line than us, and we've got, like, Genji not really achieving very much. Yeah, we'll see. Our team comp is not very good, though. Would rather May was playing Reinhardt, and then that would honestly make it all a lot better, but, you know, whatever. You can't control what people do. So, team's over there right now, going too far out, frankly. And there goes Genji. Genji got hooked, Genji got killed, nothing you can do about that one. Our team right now, like, our team are trying to stand where they can't realistically stand. Because if we just stand up in this area, as we are doing so right now, everybody's just going to get shot to death because there's no barriers or shields up here to protect anybody. And if the enemy team, like, engages over here, then suddenly we have to run back these very exposed ways, like getting shot the entire time. Or, like, over here into, like, the narrow channels. It's not a good place to be standing. Our team, we don't have the kind of front line that can stand up here. We don't have the kind of front line that can really stand anywhere, because we don't really have a front line. It's very awkward, but basically we don't want to be standing up here, like, more back towards this way. And you also can't see very well from over here, because they keep going out of the archway a little bit. Like, if you don't mind talking to people, try and get your team to come back. Like, you're in a pre-made with two of the people here, so, you know. So we ignore this May here for a little while, who is in need of some healing right here. Because we're looking back here. May is almost dead, and we ignored her for a while. Roadhog is also almost dying, because currently the other healer is dead. Lucio died, because he went too far out also. So it's just us right now, and we're struggling to keep up, and now we're getting harassed by a Tracer, which is very much a problem. Also, I kind of skimmed over it, but we basically used our sleep dart hoping it was going to hit somebody, and it did. But I generally advise against using your sleep dart and just hoping it hits somebody, because it's a very long cooldown ability that you kind of need. Anna's cooldowns are very long and very important, so you have to be quite deliberate with how you're going to use them. I'm not sure why we've decided to stand down here. I guess because we're waiting for the health kit, but this is like a much more dangerous place to be standing rather than upstairs, so I'm not sure why we decided to come and stand down there for a while. And now we're losing ground fast. They have an Orisa over there just shooting in at us. We kind of can't do anything about it, really. We don't have a good front line still. Oh, spooky right there. Managed to trank him right as he hooked us, and we got away scot-free. So, but we're losing a lot of ground very quickly right now, and our team still doesn't really have a front line because we're basically playing 4 DPS and 2 supports right now. Used our trank there on Orisa while she's all shiny and golden, so that's not going to work out right there. This is the kind of situation where you basically just use your nano boost as soon as you get it. Like, just nano boost Roadhog right here. Doesn't matter if he has his ultimate or not, basically. Right now, ult him regardless, because, like, we're not winning this fight, but we're not losing the fight yet either. And nano boost is the fastest charging ultimate in the game. So basically, as soon as you get nano boost, you're looking to use nano boost as soon as possible. Just like Nano Boost the Roadhog right now. Worst case scenario, he one-shots the Orisa that's currently standing on the point, and that's probably gonna be good enough, honestly. We actually sit on this nano boost for a very long time. We could have built up like 2 or 3 more nano boosts during the period that we'd have this. This is just complete foolishness right here, and you said as much in the voice chat. Also, he did have his ultimate, apparently. But, like, as soon as you get it, you're looking to use it as soon as possible. And this is true of any ultimate, really. As soon as you have your ultimate, you're pretty much looking to use it at the earliest opportunity so that you can start working on the next one. So, we got killed. We're not going to get back in time to touch it. We don't bother going back over to touch it because we're not going to get to touch it. I wouldn't stand up here. Like, if you've got time right now, you could go and try to stand on, like, one of the rooftops, wait for the elevator to come around. Because standing here isn't really all that safe, because there's, like, this big they can just walk up the staircase right next to you and try to kill you. And you won't be able to see them coming from here, either. Generally, or you could just be standing on, like, the other end of the street, because basically you want to be standing as far away as possible when you're playing Ana, because Ana, to put it in academic terms, does a fucking lot of healing from very fucking far away. So you don't really need to be standing this close. We're standing quite close, quite scarily close. Again, we could just we're looking to use Nano Boost as soon as possible. Could have just Nano Boosted the Roadhog there, especially since May's throwing her ult in right now. Awkward fight happening right here. Unfortunately, there was like a shield in the way, so that we couldn't really try to trank the Roadhog as he was hooking ours. And this is all falling apart very quickly. Tried to heal Lucio, but Lucio's fucking dead. That's not a very good use of a grenade, because that damage is not going to do anything, because everybody's currently dead, and you're at full ult charge right now anyway, so you're not going to get anything off of that. And you'd much rather have it right now, so that you could throw it at your feet, get yourself and Tracer, and basically get Tracer to fucking leave you alone, basically. And Tracer kills us just before our grenade came off cooldown right there. It's possible not using our grenade earlier, just like throwing it into them willy-nilly could have saved us, because if you throw it at your feet and get yourself and the Tracer usually has to leave, because that's most of the Tracer's HP. So, we push tab there very briefly. Genji's got Dragon Blade, so we'd like to Dragon Blade him as quickly as possible. Again, we've been sitting on this Nano Boost for a very long time. I think we could have built up another Nano Boost during this period if we'd used it at the first opportunity. Throw our grenade in right there on the Roadhog. We get both of them, but unfortunately he was still just taking too much damage to heal. We killed the other one. We didn't want ours to get killed. And now we're losing ground again. Genji used Dragon Blade, but nowhere even close to where we could see him, really, so whatever. Can't do anything about that. And now we want to get out of here as quickly as possible. We don't want to be standing out in the open. Up, run, get back, out of the way. Great. Our team are going where we don't want them to go right now, because they're currently trying to go outside of the hangar to fight, basically. Roadhog's even wasting his ultimate over there, it looks like. You're in a pre-made with the Roadhog. Tell the Roadhog to come back, if nothing else. Like, I generally don't care if you talk to nobody, because I don't talk to anybody. But if you're in a pre-made, the whole reason to be in a pre-made is that you can communicate with the people and, like, synergize with them. If your friends are going off and standing in suicidal positions, tell them to come back. And you can tell your team in general that, if you don't mind talking to people. I don't care if you never talk to another human being in this video game, but if you don't mind, like, if you're in a pre-made, tell your pre-made to come back, and if you don't mind talking to people, like, tell your team in general to come back. Whether they listen to you is another matter, of course, but make the effort, if nothing else, if you don't mind making the effort. In general, you don't really say anything to your pre-made in this entire game, because I watched the game through earlier with the sound on. You don't really communicate anything with each other, except for, like, the occasional, like, haha, that was funny sort of thing, but, like, no actual real communication happens in this entire game, basically. Which is, I mean, it's kind of the point of being in a pre-made. So, we're losing ground now because some of our team are dead. Very optimistic hook from Roadhog right there. Lucio jumped right in front of us as we were throwing our grenade. Happens, feels bad, but that would have been a bad use of your grenade regardless, because suppose you hit that Roadhog over here behind these crates, who is currently at full HP, basically. What would it have done? It would have done 100 damage to him and like, inconvenienced him for 6 seconds, but that's not a very good use of a 10-second long cooldown. So, probably for the best Lucio took it, really. With the grenade, you're looking to, like, hit as many people with it. Like, the grenade is the strongest thing about Ana, honestly. Her grenade is, like, one of the most overloaded abilities in the game. Does damage, does healing debuff on enemies, healing buff on allies, AoE. Like, it's a lot of things in one ability, so it's kind of the thing you want to get them, try and get as much value out of as possible, because it's one of the most unfair things about Ana. Every hero has something about them that's unfair, and, like, for Ana, it's Nano Boost and her grenade. So those are the things you're trying to get the most out of, really. And basically, you're looking to hit as many allies, as many enemies, or preferably both as possible. Like, if you have a Reinhardt and they have a Reinhardt, which you would hope to have in most games, if you can hit both Reinhardts with your grenade, you win the fight, basically, because it's too much. It's too much to deal with. Your Reinhardt is basically unkillable during that period, and their Reinhardt is going to die because he's got the healing debuff on him, which is a death sentence, basically. So you're looking to get as much out of that as possible. And there's a lot of, like, just throwing your sleep dart in, like, hoping it's gonna hit somebody. You gotta be pretty deliberate with this ability, because it's pretty important. Well, you gotta be deliberate with both of them, but, like, the sleep dart is, like, how you don't die, and you use it to stop ultimates. So, again, you'll note we're still sitting on this same nano boost that we've had the entire time. We could have probably built up 2 more during this period of time if we'd used them. If we'd used the first one at the earliest opportunity, then the next one at the earliest opportunity, we could have probably built up 2 more during this period. Overwatch is a game that's very based around ultimates. Like, ult execution is easily the most important skill in the entire game, in my opinion. And basically, as soon as you get your ultimate, you want to use it as quickly as possible. There are some ultimates that are really bad ultimates, examples being, like, Deadeye, Self-Destruct, Whole Hog. These ultimates are not very good. The champions are better, the heroes are better than their ultimates, but Ana it charges quickly and it's high impact. You want to use it as quickly as possible. And imagine it like there's an Ana on both teams. If you ult like 3 times more than the other team's Ana, you should win the game. Basically. Like, that should be enough to win the game in most cases. The same is true of most heroes. If you're playing Reinhardt and you Earth Shatter like 4 more times than the other Reinhardt, you should win the game. If you're playing Genji and you Dragon Blade like 3 more times than the other Genji, you should win the game. Ultimates are very heavily impact Overwatch. In general, people are too, also our team are still standing where we don't want them to be standing, and now we're standing where we don't want to be standing. We want to be on the other end of the hallway behind, like, over there, on the other end of that hallway, but, like, near the point, basically, as far away as possible. Because this is a good point to play Ana on. You can stand very far away and still be doing your job, and be very safe. We don't want to be standing up here. Try and get them to come back if you don't mind talking to people. We killed this Tracer right here. This is pretty good. Kill the Tracer. Unfortunately, like, the team is, like, appearing around here at this point, and then we just, like, oh god, oh no, the enemy team. Oh dear. We don't want to be here. No, we don't. We want to be on the other end of this hallway. Like, way back near the end point, basically. You can stand on, like, the balcony way back there, still be doing your job, healing the people up here, and there's, like, no way they can kill you. And if you die, like, generally, you don't want to die, generally, when you're playing Overwatch, but when you're playing a support, you really don't want to die. Because if you die, your team is going to die, because they're just going to get chipped down, because nobody's healing them, and then they're going to die. You really don't want to die when you're playing, a support. Didn't really need to throw the grenade on that Tracer right there, because she wasn't really doing anything. And it doesn't really get very much done, but our team is winning the fight over here anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. This is a little bit awkward. Everything's kind of in the way right now, but we've basically won this fight, because we've already killed like 4 of them. And now our team is getting quite zealous again. Everybody's going to stand very far out. Alright, this was really odd to me. You decide to reload right there while you see the pulse bomb stuck on your Roadhog. Like, you had 6 bullets left when you started reloading. You should have just kept healing the Roadhog, because he's about to get the pulse bomb exploding on him. He's going to need healing in the near future. So, our team getting overzealous again, standing very far up. You know, they keep getting out of the way, out of our line of sight as well, and that's awkward to deal with. McCree just, like, took that one. You didn't really need a filler grenade either there, really, because it's just Mei. You can just shoot Mei. Mei didn't really need it that urgently. Roadhog is, like, out of the way again. And, like, if you're playing a healer and, like, support is the role that benefits the most from being, like, willing to communicate with people, in my opinion, because, like, people that are out of line of sight, you just tell them to come back. And generally speaking, when you're playing a support, the exception to this is Lucio. When you're playing a support, you want to be as far away from the enemy team as possible, so that means you also can see the most that's happening. Supports usually have the best understanding of what's currently happening in the game, because they can see a lot more, because they're usually standing very far away. Again, the exception is Lucio, because Lucio has to stand very close now. So, if you are confident in talking to people, playing a support, usually, like, you tell people, yo, come back, you're going too far up, come back so I can heal you, you're going too far up, there's people coming over here right now, let's go get them. You can usually you usually have more information to work with, so your supports are usually the better people to be doing, like, shot calling, basically. If you don't mind talking to people. I don't care if you talk to nobody, I don't talk to anybody. But if you don't mind talking to somebody, like, Ana is very good at, like, being a shot caller, basically, because you see so much happening. And we're having to stand very far up also, because people keep getting out of the way, and we can't see our Roadhog right now, so we can't nano boost him while this is happening. We finally used the nano boost, like, 6 minutes later. Now we've come very far up again. The thing is, when your team is too far up, that does generally force you to also be too far up, because it's better to be with your team, even if your team is standing where you don't want them to be standing. But we don't want to be fighting up, like, outside of the hangar, or, like, in this open area in the hangar. It's all bad times, really. Didn't need to throw your grenade right there. If you're gonna throw your grenade right, try and get the Lucio as well. Like, just throwing it on the Tracer is not really a good use of that resource. So we can't try and trank the whole hog that's happening. The enemy team is coming in very quickly. They have a Winston right now who really fucks with Ana's day, honestly. So that's making it difficult for us right now. Now we're sitting very far away, and look, we've almost got our nano boost back, despite only using it like 30, 40 seconds ago. Think of how many more times we could have nano boosted in this game if we just used them. Like, and yeah, like, sometimes you're gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna hold it because I want to use it on Genji when he uses the Dragon Blade, right? But, just use it at the first, like, good opportunity that you have to use it. Don't just sit on it for an extended period of time. Nano Boost is one of those ultimates that you're looking to cycle through as quickly as possible. And, like, just somebody like Roadhog, just nano boosting him, you can expect him to get work done regardless. Now we're nano boosting him again while he's using Whole Hog, and he's gonna go in and surprisingly not kill anybody with it. I can only assume D.Va made him not have any fun during that. So, a lot of things happening right now. We are trying to shoot somebody really far away. Didn't really work out. Better to try and, like, focus on healing people, just like a McCree out on the boxes all the way back there is not the end of the world. And we're about to have, some sad times, because now they're coming in with a lot of tanks, and we still don't have really any tanks. Winston also fucking with our day right now. Winston, very, very good counter to Ana. Our sleep dart also wasn't up. We didn't get to sleep dart the Winston. Feels bad, man. Winston really fucks with Ana's day, and, you know, unless our team comes back to help us with it, there's not a lot you can really do about that, you know? Feels bad, man. Again, Roadhog is, like, a very solid counter to Winston, but, like, there was a lot of shit happening right around there, so, you know. So, now we're coming out here, basically just to touch the point. We're gonna let Lucio keep touching the point, because he's still alive. He's going to die right as he tries to use his ultimate in the near future. And he's gonna be quite upset about it. Right there, right there. But, if you look, they all left the point anyway. Because this is a Silver SR game. Feels good. The great equalizer, the enemy team can always be worse than your team. So they didn't get it all the way to the end. I think that you should consider, anytime the attacking team doesn't get the payload all the way to the end, you should consider that a victory. Or, like, on the 2CP maps, if they don't capture both points, you should consider that a victory. Like, people get really tilted about this when they, like, see they got it, like, almost to the end. If they didn't get it to the end, you won the round as the defenders, basically. Now you just have to win the round as the attackers. So our team is still bad, because we still don't have a Reinhardt, basically. Well, I mean, now we have a D.Va, so we at least have a tank. Like, we have a tank now. D.Va is still not a very good tank, but we have a tank. We're like halfway between a regular comp and a dive comp right now, basically. Which is not great, you know? Rather be, like, heavily on one side so you can do it, like, you want to be either a dive comp or a regular comp, because being in between is just sort of being like a jack of all, master of none kind of situation, but, you know, whatever. Can't control your team. Well, I mean, you can try and get the Roadhog to play Reinhardt, because that would be a lot better, but, you know, if he won't, whatever. So we didn't quite save our Roadhog right there as he got hooked, feels bad, man. We also lost our Genji because he got killed by Torbjorn's turret, feels bad, man. They still have a Winston, as we can see, which is a bad sign for us, because Winston still fucks with, Anna's Day a lot. I'd be really upset with that D.Va, because that D.Va right there almost lost her. If she just let you heal her, that's an ult right there. I'd be really upset with that D.Va. You could have, like, had your ultimate off of that. If you are playing a non-support, and you're not in a fight, but you're wounded, try to let the support heal you so that they can get ult charge off of you, especially if you're a big, beefy tank. Like, a mostly dead Roadhog or D.Va is an Anna ultimate, like, you know. So, anyway, though, whatever. So, we've lost somebody over here. Our team is currently going in from a great many different locations, which is, I mean, not surprising, because we basically we have 3 flankers on our team right now. So, well, D.Va's not like a flanker, but you know what I mean. So, it's very awkward for us. We're gonna have a hard time, like, getting in right now. This is also probably not, like, the best game to play Anna in, because there are not that many things that you really want to nano boost. You've basically got Dragon Blade, who, like, the Genji has a habit of not being in line of sight to us anyway. And Roadhog. Like, those are the only 2 things we really want to nano boost. You can nano boost, like, D.Va in a pinch, and, like, you can nano boost Roadhog when he doesn't have his ultimate, sure. But seeing as we currently have Tracer, Genji, and D.Va, like, we have a pretty dive-heavy team right now, basically. It would probably be better to be playing Zenyatta, because then you just put Discord Orb on the person, and then they can dive on that person and kill them better. They also currently have Orisa and Winston, who are 2 very weak heroes when they have Discord on them. Very, very easy to kill heroes. You can also just, like, put the Harmony Orb on these people, and then they have the Harmony Orb when they're out of line of sight for 3 seconds anyway. So Zenyatta works well with flanking heroes because of that, and also because then it is easier to kill the person they're diving on, because that person has Discord Orb on them. So it would probably be better to be playing Zenyatta rather than Anna. But, you know, whatever. So, we're going in now. We're starting to gain some ground, but we've just lost our Genji. But Tracer just managed to kill their Mercy, and look at that. Bunch of people just got killed right there. Great stuff. We managed to trank the Junkrat right there. Doesn't get killed. Blah, blah, blah. Gets woke up, doesn't get killed, still dies in the end because he's the only one here. Great. Awesome. Everything worked out. And we have Nano Boost now, so we're going to be looking to use Nano Boost as quickly as possible, basically. Genji, if possible, but, you know, we'll take Roadhog or D.Va if we have to. Also, when you're playing Anna, just, like, ping your ult a lot, like, so that people know what your ult is at, because that, like, your ultimate impacts how other people play, basically. Push tab more often also, like, as any hero, just so that you see who has their ultimates, because knowing who has their ultimates is important information that affects how you play. As any hero, but Anna in particular. So this is not a good time to nano boost the Roadhog, because he is currently being pushed away by their Roadhog. So all that happens right here is he ults as well. All that happens is neither of our ults do anything because he's getting pushed away by the enemy Roadhog at the same time. You've gotta, like, stop the enemy whole hog before you can do something like that, really. Unless the intention was to make him survive, in which case, just let the fucker die. Spawn point's right over there. It's not worth using an ultimate to save him if that was the intention. So, we threw in abilities there hoping they hit people, and they did hit people at least, so that's good. McCree over here, not really a legal maneuver, just to channel High Noon right in front of the enemy team, and he rightly gets killed for it, so not a good use of company resources right there. D.Va just took that grenade that we were trying to throw on the Roadhog, and then, boom, Tyre just rolls over the fucking staircase and kills us. Feels bad, man. Did he at least kill himself with it as well? No, he didn't. No, I like clipped the corner ever so slightly. So we almost have Nano Boost built up again because it builds up that fucking fast, which is, you know, look at that. We only used that one like 30 seconds ago and we've almost got it back again. Nano Boost as much as possible. So, team starting to get some momentum over here. One of the worst D.Va ults I've seen. She might have wanted, like, I don't know the case of what was happening, but it looks like it was a really bad ultimate. So, we're standing on the point right now by ourselves. We don't want to be doing that. We want to be standing as far back as possible. Let the rest of your team go first, because they are frankly less important than you. So you let them go first. If you're playing a support, you're the most important member of your team. You let everybody else go first, because they are less important than you. So, Whole Hog is happening over here right now. Don't really want to nano boost him for this one, because, like, we've already, like, there's nobody over here to kill, basically, so we don't really want to nano boost him on that one. This is happening around the corner. We missed the trank on him. Feels bad, man. Happens, whatever. But everybody is still mostly alive, if very scattered right now. There's a Symmetra coming out right now as well. We couldn't quite see the Roadhog. You can tell people to come back if you can't see them. And then Reaper popped out next to us and killed us. Like, you're looking in your scope while you're doing this, shooting at people. So, like, all you can really do is, like, listen for him coming. But, you know, whatever happens. Sometimes they get the jump on you. Like, if you're looking in your scope, all you can, and trying to shoot at people, you can only, like, have it called out to you or hear him coming, you know, what happens, whatever. I also don't really care if you listen to the game, like, I got into Masters not even listening to the game, like, I don't talk to people, and I don't listen to the game, because I, like, just have music on instead. So I also don't care if you listen to the game, but if you're the kind of person who's looking for every possible advantage you can get, you know, get like a surround sound headset, and then you won't get jumped on by the Reaper as easily. Or the whatever, you know, like, you know, you'll hear, like, McCree is very fucking loud because he's wearing spurs. He tends to be quite easy to hear coming. So our team has gotten killed over here. Reaper even killed Tracer, which is frankly sad, because Tracer is quite heavily favored versus Reaper, unless Reaper can get a lucky shot in. Again, we use our trank there, hoping it's going to hit him. And even if it does hit him, what are we going to do with that? It's going to get woke up by, like, D.Va or McCree shooting him once, so it's not even going to do anything. So that's not a good use of your cooldown. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but, like, this is very important for Ana. She is very heavily based around her cooldowns. So we throw it in raw. Feels bad. He lived with, like, 1 HP. So, you know, happens. Feels bad. We get 28 HP right there. Feels bad, man. Only needed, like, to be punched, and then 3 more hit points. Happens. So, Genji's managed to break the teleporter. That's good. Genji has Dragon Blade, so we'd like to nano boost him if possible. Again, ping your ult, you know, when you have it. I don't think we actually can see Genji when he uses his Dragon Blade. No, we see him ever so briefly, but then he disappears in, so we don't get to nano boost him. Happens, feels bad, man, you know. Genjis tend to be that way. We are trying to, like, do damage right now. We should be focusing, because we were, like, shooting at the Zarya right there. We should be trying to, like, see the Roadhog and heal him, rather. Like, when you're playing a healer, your highest priority is healing people. Even if you're playing Zenyatta, your highest priority is healing people, and then everything else is secondary. So, you know, like, we shot shooting at the Zarya a little bit when we should have just been trying to heal the Roadhog if we could. Though he was, like, behind shit as well again, so it was gonna be awkward. So we have not got very much time left right now. So basically everybody's going to be going in to touch somebody. We're going to nano boost whatever we can take at this point, probably, because this is the sort of situation where you're like, fuck, we're pretty fucked right now. We throw our grenade in, just nano boost whatever we can get. It's the Genji, and now we're going to hope Genji does some work. D.Va's managed to kill 2 people with her ultimate, and one of them was Mercy, which is fantastic news, and we managed to get the payload across the point at the end. Great. Awesome. We managed to get there. We only have a minute and a half left, and this is the second hardest part of Hollywood. The street phase is the easy part, and it took us the longest time to get through there, which is, you know, unfortunate. A lot of this I still put down to, like, our team comp being quite bad, but whatever, you know. So, Roadhog got hooked right there. Awkward, feels bad, man. Oh, grenade, and Mercy's dead again with the Roadhog. Feels good, man. So now we can get a lot of ult charge off of D.Va right here. If things are going decently over here, we can get some ult charge off. Oh, this is how. Oh no. Not a lot you can do about that one except like hit the trank basically on him. But you know, Reaper's doing all right. Reaper's doing some work. So we've only got 30 seconds left now. We're gonna get nano boost during this period of time, like. You know, we only got 15% to go. So we're just coming in, gonna soon have to just, like, this is awkward that, like, people are getting picked off. Because, like, what everybody should be doing right now is backing out, because we're only gonna get to have one more fight. So, like, seeing our McCree, like, get picked off right here, it's just like, well, this is the worst possible time you could get picked off, because now we're gonna have to have this fight, like, with one less person now. And this is the only fight we're gonna get at this point. So, we're basically gonna be in a position where we're just gonna nano boost whatever we can get, basically, at this point. We missed the Roadhog right there. Oh, our Roadhog got killed. And we like, seemingly accept our fate for a little bit. Just, like, nano boost whatever you can get at this point. Like, nano boost that Tracer. Like, because right now, you don't let the game end and you still have your ultimate. Even if it's like even if you gotta nano boost the Mercy. Like, use it at least, you know. But we lost the game. Feels bad, man. Do we get to see what the play of the game is? I think we get to see what the play of the game is. It's McCree. I don't remember McCree really doing anything. Fair enough. So I didn't see that. I feel like the Reaper one was probably more deserving, but whatever. I guess he killed 3 people. So things that stand out for me the most in this game, we don't use our ults frequently enough. We sit on that first ultimate for like the entire first round, basically. When you've got your ult, use your ult as quickly as possible. First good opportunity that you have to use your ultimate, just use it. You start working on the next one. And as we see in this game, it builds up really fast. Just use it as soon as you can. Positioning, like, we stand too close to the enemy team, generally speaking. Part of that is, like, because our team is standing too far up, so that does also force us to stand too far up. But we want to be, like, as far away as possible, generally speaking. Preferably up on high ground and far away. We are generally standing too close to them. We use our abilities very frivolously. Like, using our abilities more, just like for the sake of using them in quite a few instances. And his abilities are very long cooldown, very high impact abilities, so you've got to be more careful with how you use them both, basically. And then there's, like, a few instances where we're, like, sort of prioritizing doing damage over, like, healing people, or just, like, we're not prioritizing healing as high as we could be. Like, there's the part early on where we, like, don't heal the Mei, who is, like, nearly dead. There was the part where we, like, shooting at Zarya instead of, like, trying to see our Roadhog, who was, like, dying over there. You know, there's a few instances of that as well. The biggest thing is, like, the ult, because we don't ult very many times in this game, despite having quite a few opportunities to do so. You just want to use it as soon as possible. Start building up another one, and then use that one as soon as possible. And, like, just ult as many times as possible. If you can ult a lot of times, you should win the game most of the time. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.